Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I hope you are doing well. Today we're going to be discussing the Premier League table, predicting our outcomes through the whole season, who will end up where. I hope you do enjoy. Without further ado, if you do enjoy, please be sure to turn on that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and we'll get going. So, at the bottom of the league, no surprises here. We start off with saying that Sunderland are going to go down. The reason that I've put this is because I believe it's too early for them getting promoted and they just have, unfortunately, no chance of staying up. That could change if, obviously, they start spending a lot of money, which it looks like they're going to do, and maybe use the model Nottingham Forest implemented. But I just think it might be a season too early. Leeds, whilst very good in the Championship last season, I think will come 19th. The reason for this is that their play is not as secure as, say, Burnley, who I'm predicting just to stay up. And therefore, I believe that that defensive ability just isn't there. And unfortunately, I believe they'll come 19th place. In terms of the 18th place to round out the relegation spots, I have gone for Brentford. They've lost Frank. They were going to lose Mbeumo. Visser might be on his way out, but mainly Thomas Frank in those trio kept them together, kept them up. They've also lost club captain Norgard to Arsenal, and for me, that is the core of the team. What has kept them up so much in recent years is Thomas Frank's overperformance with what I would say is a near championship squad. I just see them going down now. Their kit also, by the way, is such a championship kit. If you've seen it on Twitter, awful. But anyway, yeah, I think Brentford will be the third team to face the drop. In terms of that 17th place, just escaping the drop, I have predicted Burnley. They've just acquired Kyle Walker, which I think is quite an actual astute signing from them. Premier League experience, still quite quick. Not as good as he used to be, obviously, but has that experience and mentality to play in the Premier League. And their defence last year was record breaking in the Championship, and that is why I think they'll stay up. Teams stay up in the Premier League if they don't concede goals. They don't necessarily have to score goals. Look at Sean Dyche's mantra at Everton and earlier Burnley. Because of how Burnley are built as a team, yes, they could score goals in the Championship. They might struggle to score in the Premier League. I do think they'll scrape just enough points to not be beaten, and that will keep them up in the Premier Division. In 16th place, I have predicted West Ham. Potter might be able to elevate the squad if he can get a rhythm going with the team, because the squad overall is better than it seems at the moment. Yes, they have no sellable assets per se. They might lose Mohamed Kudus, but they do have solid players who are experienced in there. Think of Fulkrug, etc. I think Potter needs to get his rhythm going with the team, get implemented with West Ham and show better performance than last season for them to stand a chance of getting any higher. West Ham are one of those that I think could either finish 16th or they could finish 10th with a good season, but I don't know. The next team I put in is Wolves. Honestly, I have nothing to say about them other than they look like they're going to be relegation threatened again. There's not too much positives coming out of the Wolves camp, and it's a shame because a few years back they were the Portuguese Premier League team, weren't they? But they had exciting players such as Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota, unfortunately, rest in peace, and players like that. In 14th, I've gone for Bournemouth. They have been absolutely gutted. They've lost Zabarnyi, they lost Højlund, they're losing Kerkez. Semedo's just signed a new contract and Areola's great. That's the only reason I predict them not to go down. I think that Semenyo and Areola will keep them in the Premier League, so I've gone 14th for them. Everton are a weird one. They have a new stadium coming up. They could easily come 14th. They could, 13th where I predict them. They could easily come in the top 10, 9. They've got Moyes, who obviously is a club icon, knows the club inside out, has done superbly well since returning there. They're also getting a new stadium, the Bramley Dock Arena, this season. So it could all come into one to have a massive overperformance. Equally, they could just perform where they are. Then they're in need of a new striker. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's leaving. I predict Everton to be 13th place in the Premier League this season. In 12th place, the big team, Manchester United. They will improve on last season. They won't come 17th and 16th with Spurs. Again, they've got signings like Mbeumo coming in, Cunha, who I think will elevate as the Prem proven. But I don't think it'll be enough for them to get Europe again. So I predict them to elevate up to 12th. They're a hard team to predict because quality-wise, the squad is probably a top 8 team. But do I trust Amorim? No. There's also a lot of toxicity at United as a club. It's just a poison chalice. I don't think they're going to come higher than 12th. In terms of 11th place, Brighton, this is the most unpredictable team in my opinion. Because they could be anywhere. They've just lost João Pedro. They're not necessarily a great Premier League team at the moment. But they do the Moneyball approach, so they could get a new star coming in very shortly. You never know. Spurs have put 10th, better than last season under Ange. Frank's a great manager, but it'll be an embedding season, I'd imagine. Romero might be going. They're going to lose Son by the looks of it. So I think 10th is a fair shout for them. Palace, I've gone for 9th place. Lacroix is there, obviously. Eze might be leaving to Arsenal, which could impact this heavily. They've got Oliver Glasner, who is a very good manager. They've just won the FA Cup and been on a high. So I think that Palace are a good side. In terms of good enough for 9th, sorry. Next up on the list, I've gone with 8th place, Nottingham Forest. I think that they have enough to get Europe again, but they will drop down from the top 4 challenge that they surprisingly did this season. And with Elanga looking like he might be sold to Newcastle, that will not help their case at all. But Forest, I'm saying, will retain Europe and get 8th place. 7th place, I've gone with Fulham. I predict them to be busy in the market. There's been links with Harvey Elliott. I think that they've got the squad depth, they've got great attacking options, and they're just a really fun squad to watch. So I think that Fulham, especially under Marco Silva, if he goes, they might be in trouble, but I'm going to say 7th place. 6th. This all depends on Unai Emery's future, but Aston Villa should come in 6th, in my opinion. They've got the squad for it. Yes, they've got financial issues. Yes, financial fair play might play a part. That they'll have to sell Ollie Watkins or whoever, maybe Morgan Rogers. But if Emery stays in situ, they've got the squad for it. I think they can easily make 6th place. In terms of 5th, we'll do them railing off. But the first Champions League place, arguably with coefficient, will be Newcastle. And they've got the best midfield in the league, in my opinion, in Bruno, Tonali, Joelinton, etc. Isak's potentially staying. Eddie Howe staying. I think it'll be another successful season for Newcastle. I think they'll get the Champions League places again and get 5th place. They need to be active quickly in the window, though, to be able to secure that position. In terms of 4th place, I've gone with Man City. Something just isn't, lining up with how they're operating. We know Pep likes a small squad. This season he's got a large squad at the moment. We know Pep likes someone with mental solidity that's the right character to be within the squad. He's bought Ryan Cherky. There are some red flags there. I think there will be a good side. Don't get me wrong, they'll get plenty of wins. And Reinders, I think, will be an inspired signing. But I just don't know if they have enough this season to challenge for the league again. De Bruyne has gone out of the leadership group and left. Obviously, key players have left recently. And Walker's now left out of the leadership group fully. So there's too much upheaval at Man City. Just don't feel like in my gut they're going to challenge for the title again. And I don't want to lie and say just because it's City they will. So I think 4th place, solid. They will be good. They'll have spells where they win 10 games on the bounce. They'll also have spells where I think they might lose a few. So Man City are 4th. 3rd, Chelsea. And they'll be better than this year. They've got, I think they will title challenge. Don't get me wrong. I think it'll be like Liverpool 2 years ago, where they'll challenge till like the 30th game of the season, then might drop off then. But it'll be longer than they did this season. They're young, homegrown. They're retaining talent, lots of it. They've got loads of options for Maresca. I don't agree with the model that they imply, but they've got a load of different ways to figure out opposition and play them if they can keep each player happy. I think Chelsea will be 3rd. I think they're going to be a solid team, and the potential of that squad is vast. In terms of 2nd place, unfortunately, my beloved Arsenal Football Club. I think that injuries were mad last season that showed them, that pulled them down, and I think that they will probably be closer to Liverpool this season, who are, as you all know, the title winners in my predictions, than they were last season. I'm thinking an 85-point season. They might even win it, but they are a team that's going after the title. They've hopefully brought in a striker now with Victor Gyökeres. Hopefully they bring in like Rodrigo and stuff. But I just think we might have missed the boat maybe on the league. I don't want to think that negatively, but it's just a thought. So second place Arsenal, first place Liverpool, easily the best team in the league, easily the best signing so far in the league. Wirtz, Frimpong, Kerkez and more. They are a phenomenal club, phenomenal team, and by far are my pick to win the Premier League. My worry is, not a worry, but obviously something to take into account is the mental, how do I word it in the right way? Everyone at Liverpool is mourning at the moment, and rightfully so. And football is second to the Premier League and what's going on. Football is second, the Premier League is second to what's going on in the personal lives, in the club. The club's currently grieving, and rightfully so. Having all that weight on the players' shoulders going into a Premier League retention season might negatively impact them in terms of, rightfully so, they will be mourning, they will be sad about the loss of Diogo Jota, and therefore it is hard to predict them to win the league right now. It's hard to think about anything football-wise related to the club right now, as rightfully so, there's a lot going on. And obviously you've got to give the sympathy to the players who will have known him and loved him, and also the fans who are the same, and they need, rightfully, time to grieve. So, but I do think that will play a part in terms of Liverpool. And I hope that it inspires the players to perform to a level that we maybe haven't seen, so that they can rightfully honour his legacy. But equally, there's no shame if that burden is a lot at the moment, because at the end of the day, everyone's human, and it's a very human loss that the team and the club and the family and everything have been through. So I think with Liverpool, there's a huge caveat on this. If it was just a standard Premier League season without all the context, I think they've got the best signings, the best team, the best manager at the moment to win the league. So we will wait and see. But I did just want to take a moment, obviously, just to caveat that, because I know there's a lot more than just football going on with that club at the moment. There's a lot more going on with that club in general. And obviously condolences to every Liverpool fan, every player, for the massive loss that they are going through at the moment. But anyway, that is my Premier League prediction. I hope that you agree. I hope you disagree. Let me know in the comments below who you think will finish where and what I have actually got wrong. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.